Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading. I hope you're very well. It's quite early. It's only 7:36. Seems early these days for getting our trade on. Okay, I'm going to be buying the euro dollar here. So it's 1 unit in, 2 units in. So buying the euro here, and we'll see how it goes. I'll reserve the right to be able to build the position. I'm going to put a stop down below this low here, so around about 52. I've got in at 70 odd, so I've got a 20, just over a 20 pip stop. We're going to target 120, the 129s into 130 zone as the first target, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, I'll press pause for now and we'll come back to this. Okay, just adding on to what I've already done. Euro's come up a little bit after I got in, not a lot, but it came up a little bit. Just pulling back to the bands here, so I'm going to use that as my opportunity to get 2 more units in. So I said I've got 2 units in, and I'll look to add if it gives me an opportunity. So if we come down to lower bands here, 2 more units, then put it down there, and then I'm in. That's the full position size, isn't it? So I've allowed myself the potential to do that, and we shall then see. If it just rolls over and stops me out, so be it. But the overall chart for the euro dollar, just while we're waiting here, if I can bring this up to an hourly chart, you can see a little bit here. Also, that's the pound, an hourly chart of the euro. It's just working its way up. Now, of course, it could roll over like anything, but it's working its way up at the moment. So I'm just going to see if it can break up to the upside. Oh, there, it's just come down, so let's just get this in. Right, so 1 more unit there at 68 and 2. So I've got 4 units in today. So 4 units, I always say to the guys in the trading room who are here right now, is the max units that I put in on this account, on the challenge account. So that's it now. I can't put any more units in. I don't need to, and put the stops in place. So let's get all these sorted out. So there's the other stops. I can show you the full account today because I'm not in any other positions. I was flat prior to this morning. So let's just get these positions in. 122, 51. I think I said 52 earlier on, but I looked at it and the actual lows were down at 51. 22, 51. There we go. So there's the full positions all moving around, and as it's just pulling back here, and we'll see how it goes. I'll just press pause for now. Okay, so just back here, and what would the euro's just been playing around just here for this last hour really. It's sort of holding up, and so what we're going to do is, like I've already said, I've got that target there. If I bring up the hourly chart again, target just a bit below 123, so about 22.95. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some limit orders in against these positions. So I've got the 4 positions, so I'll put limit orders in to close half if we get to 122.95, so just a bit below the round number at 23. So let's put those in. 22.95. Now, a lot of the time when I do the live videos trading, film the live trading, I like to hit it manually. Always a bit more fun when you're doing a video recording. But sometimes markets just fly up to a level, and actually in reality, when I'm not doing videos, a lot of the time I put limit orders in because you just get filled at a price that you actually want to get filled at. Whereas sometimes price can flick through a price and flick straight back, and then you could miss out on that price. So anyway, I've put those limit orders in for now. Right, I'll press pause for the time being. Okay, just back, and we can see this euro dollar's having a little run here. It's about to hit my limit orders. Let's see if it hits them. They'll disappear, these 2, as it gets there. Is it going to hit? It's right on it. There it is. It's taken. Okay, half profits, guys, taken just there. It's just hit the limit order at 95 there. So we just banked half. Have you seen this happen live? Just as it literally just went up and hit that 95. Must have just got there. As you can see, the 2 entries have just been taken there at 95 as we're sitting here live. So we're now in this nice position of, I guess, whatever happens now, we're in the position of we can't lose. I don't suppose. It's always nice. I'm not moving the stop up yet. I might do at some point. We'll have a look at it. But we're really focused on those next targets, which is up towards this green line up here. So let's move this off the chart, and so we're looking at a bit above 123, aren't we? So let's have a look here. I think let's just remind myself. Make sure that trend line's right. That doesn't look right here. Hold on. I thought my trend line was a little bit different to that. When I was when I got my charts off screen, they weren't quite there. Yeah, that's it. It wasn't quite accurate on here. Let's take that back. Yeah, it's a bit. Oh, now it's a bit. That doesn't look right either. Okay, so let's just make sure we've got this trend line on correctly here. And I was talking to the guys in the trading room here this morning about, we were talking about trend line analysis. I think it's up here, it's not quite on properly. We were talking about trend line analysis and how it's an art more than a science, trend line analysis, because it's always never going to be exact. But looks like on this chart it's crossing 123.50. On my charts off screen it's about 123.20. Let's actually come back to the 4-hour charts. We've got these prior highs up here, which is the next level anyway, which is at 123.20 area. So what we'll do, I'm being lazy today, rather than trying to execute manually, let's put another limit order in now at 123.20. Okay, so we'll put one in at 123.20, and I think I said this morning that I don't know if the euro is going to be able to go that far, but 123.50 I'll put the final target in at. So let's just do that as well. Where's the thing gone? 123.50, and I'd be more than happy with that for now. I might still. Oh, it's in at 40. It says 49. That'll do. We'll watch that. There could be, for example, because I don't know if it can go that far. If we did get up to 123.20 or whatever and broke out, but then came back in or whatever, and there was a volume spike or something like that, then I may use my discretion to exit that final stake anyway. But for now, that first half's taken for 20 pips, just over. Let's go and have a look at the stop, because the stop level is still down here at the moment, isn't it? So that was, we got in at 70. Oh, mind you, these two entries that I got in here are at 68. So the stop's down at 51. So yeah, I've taken 20 odd pips, and the stop is obviously a lot less than that. The stop is only about 17 pips. So can I actually move the stop up? And we've been talking in the trading room this morning about all this sort of stuff. That can you, you have to be careful of over managing at times a trade. So let's have a look here. Let's go out to the 4-hour chart. We've been talking about how this 4-hour chart was potentially hooking up today, and it's worked out so far for us. But can I move the stop up? Let's have a look at some other time frames here. I know you're not being able to see everything because I've only got some of it showing because of the way the screen is. Because this goes onto our site, it's filmed in a certain size, so that's why the chart, you're not seeing all of the charts. They're on all of my screen, but the actual recording area is only a smaller part of the screen. So can we move the stop up? So look at that 5-minute chart here. So we got these lows here. That was the last low, but that could be, now that would be potentially micromanaging. We've still got our stops down here below this low. I still think overall I'd rather just leave it and see and give it still give it that room to breathe. I think that it's at risk that if I micromanage and move my stop up to this low, that I could just get nicked out. It could want to come down to that low and then turn back up again. So I'm going to leave it. I can't lose on the trade. Obviously, I'd give back a nice bit of the profit, but that's what you have to do with trading. If you're trying to run trades for certain levels, then if you start micromanaging and moving the stops up too aggressively, then quite often you end up just getting trading stopped out. And don't get me wrong, I will trail the stops at times, but on certain trades, but I still think that we've got the potential. I think if we break out a little bit further yet, if we can break the other side of 123, then I'll start engaging it. But we haven't done that yet, so no, we'll still leave it there for the time being. Good. Right, I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back, and I've been off down the gym here this morning, mid-morning. Just got back in the trading room here, and I can see that the euro is now pulled back a bit. If we put that to a 5-minute chart, you can see that it's pulled back here. Back onto the hourly chart. Yes, it's pulled back. And the thing is, I always find this amusing because I always get people say, Charlie, why didn't you bank your profits? Well, because the target was up there. Or if it comes back down, why didn't you trail your stop up? Well, because if it's proven that if you trail your stop up too aggressively, then you're actually less profitable for those times when it just comes down, stops you out, and then goes higher again. So best leave the stop where it is, or sometimes you can trail your stops up, but sometimes you can't. You've got to give it that room. So we shall see. So if this rolls over and does stop me out down here today, then it will end up becoming a trade which is a bit above break even, I think, from the profits that I took earlier. And then so at the moment, still giving it that slack to do whatever. So if it does push up this afternoon, great. And if it doesn't, it rolls over, then so be it. It just becomes a nothing day, I guess, but that's part and parcel of trading. Right, anyway, I'll come back as and when we get an update. Okay, just back finally, and I have just been stopped out on the, it's 1 o'clock or so, and I've just been stopped out finally on the euro on this second half, and so unfortunately we've gone from being, up £600 odd on the account this morning to being flat. Let's bring it up. So there it is, £11 after all that. So these were all the entries. Remember the first 2 entries first thing this morning. Then they had the second 2 entries. We got half off and then left it to run, but it's obviously not wanted to run today. But it's not cost me anything. And to be fair, it's been quite a good week this week. Euro trades that you saw last week, closed out of those on the long side into the beginning of this week and some other stuff. So it's been a pretty decent week, and even today's trade, it's not even cost me anything. It would have been obviously nice if that would have been the cream on the top, if the euro had gone up there today, but maybe it goes up later or whatever. But I think it was the right trade this morning, and it was, and it had a nice run up to 95, 96, and but alas, it didn't want to run. But that's what you have to put up with. If you want to run trades, then you have to put up with sometimes them rolling over. And like I've already said, you also sometimes think, oh, I should have moved up my stop and trailed it up. And yes, in this situation, that would have been more profitable, but you just don't always know that. And if you constantly trail your stops up, you'll end up being less profitable. It works time and time again. That's what happens. It's less profitable doing that. Yes, it means you might have a win rate which is slightly higher because you don't get stopped out for losses. Mind you, today I didn't get stopped out for loss, but ultimately you're less profitable doing it that way. So anyway, it's sometimes I know for some traders it can be painful seeing a nice winner roll back over and either becoming a loss or or flat like my trade here today. But that's just part and parcel of trading, and you have to put up with that. But anyway, nice trading. I'm not back. I'm away next week, so I'll be back the week after. And so good trading, and see you soon.